Hello, and how's everyone doing today? Welcome to the channel if you're new, and if you're a returning viewer, I'm happy to have you back. And welcome to an episode of Justin Talks Games. We haven't done an episode of JTG in a very long time, actually. But I wanted to do a video and talk about Resident Evil 7, or not Resident Evil 7, sorry, Resident Evil 8, new trailer, and the Devil May Cry special edition, which is pretty cool. So we'll start with Resident Evil 8. So we've seen some pretty interesting things. There's one part in particular where we see people, I don't know if they're in a kitchen or in a basement or something, and they're doing some sort of ritual because they're all standing or sitting around in a circle, holding hands and stuff. You know, pretty interesting stuff. One of the people say, or not one of the people, sorry, at the end of the ceremony kind of thing, you hear them say something about a Mother Miranda. Now that's really interesting, as there's no Miranda in the Resident Evil series. I was looking, and the only Miranda that I could find was a Miranda of Resident Evil 3 Remake, but she's already dead. So she was a nurse, and she died during the initial outbreak of it. She and a few other colleagues locked themselves in a room after trying to help people as much as they could, and she felt very bad about it. Because she couldn't follow her oath of helping people and whatnot. So obviously it's not her. So we have another Miranda in Resident Evil. That's pretty interesting. There's also another thing too. You hear someone say they're returning or they're coming back, something like that. I'd like to know who's returning and who's coming back. Is it Umbrella? Is it a certain group of people? Is it the monsters that are coming back? We don't know. Leave comments and we'll discuss it down below. Yeah, this looks really interesting. I also have a feeling that I think Chris kidnaps Ethan, and I know you're thinking that's really crazy, but in the new trailer you hear Ethan and he goes, Chris, what the hell? I assume that is when they break in and he sees him or something. But you hear Chris say, take him away. And then Ethan gets hit with the butt of a gun. And then after that it fades into the village. So that's pretty interesting there. Not too sure what else to say. The monsters look very well done. There's just a lot going on. I was really hoping to see who the returning character was going to be, because there was rumors and stuff. Oh, sorry about that. There was rumors and stuff a while back that there would be a returning character in the trailer, and the story would be more explained a bit better and stuff. And this one just makes you ask more questions than really giving you answers. It's still an interesting trailer. It's still really cool, and I'm happy that we got another one, but it doesn't really answer anything. It more so gives you more questions. You can also really see that they're probably going to use a lot of these assets in Resident Evil 4 Remake. There's another shot of the church and stuff, and there's a graveyard there, and I'm pretty sure that they're going to use a lot of Resident Evil 8 stuff in the Resident Evil 4 Remake. I'm not too sure what else to say about Resident Evil 8, but it's just looking very interesting. So, Devil May Cry 5, oh boy, Devil May Cry 5, alright. So, Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition. It's going to be available at launch the same day that the PlayStation 5 comes out. That's very interesting. That's very cool. Now you're probably asking why is that so good? Devil May Cry 5, this came out last year, and it's not a big deal. Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition adds Virgil. As per Capcom tradition, they added Virgil to the Special Edition of Devil May Cry 5. I know it was up in the air for a while. People were saying, "Oh, I don't think there'll be a Special Edition. It's PlayStation 4. They can fit everything." But they did it. They went out and they did it. They did Special Edition Devil May Cry 5. That's pretty funny. So he looks like he has all of his moves from his boss fights. One very, very interesting thing, though, that I noticed was that he can do what he did in the cutscene. For when he split himself. It's really cool. I don't know if you guys have seen the trailer. If you guys have seen the trailer, maybe you didn't catch it. There's a cutscene in Devil May Cry 5. I have to remember to put a spoiler warning, in the description or in the name of the video here. But in the story, he takes the Yamato and he stabs himself with it, and he splits himself, and that's how V and Urizen become. We all know that. Then for those of us who have played the game, we know. So it seems like that's going to be a game mechanic. Now that's going to be very interesting to how that's going to work. Now, is he going to have now is that going to take up Devil Trigger to do that? Is that going to be like a little bar up at the top there? Kind of like right here, like in Devil May Cry, with Dante's Sin Trigger. It's going to be really interesting how that's going to work. Another thing is, too, if you split yourself as Virgil, are you going to be doing all of V's moves? Another thing is, too, that when you turn to V, can you change back to Virgil? That's going to be very interesting on how they do that. Really interesting stuff. Alright, sorry about the cut. That was really weird. So, yeah, it's going to be very interesting. It's going to be really cool. It also looks like he can do a lot of his boss moves. On top of the whole V thing, which is still very interesting, you can see he does the whole thing where he takes his hand like this and it goes like that, and he makes a doppelganger of himself. Now I wonder how that's going to work. Is that going to use up more Devil Trigger? Just interesting things like that. I also noticed that there's different cutscenes. Now what I want to know is that is he going to have his own story this time? It kind of looked like it from the trailer, because the whole scene where Nero gets his Devilbringer torn off so he can get his Yamato back, we don't see that through Virgil's eyes, but in the cutscene, or in the trailer there, we've seen it through his eyes and whatnot, and it looked very, very cool. So I wonder if it's just going to be a couple cutscenes here and there that are different, or I wonder if we're going to be playing Virgil, like a whole different story of his side of it. Now, we've seen some gameplay of him in Redgrave City fighting some people, so it may be just the fact of like 3 and 4 where you can play the same levels as Virgil, but I'm really hoping that like you can choose Virgil and do any level you want, kind of thing. But I really hope that ultimately he has his own story, because he has some different cutscenes that we saw. So what I'm hoping is that so when you get the Special Edition, you have to play Virgil's story to be able to unlock him, to be able to use him in any of like V's story or Nero or Dante's story. That'd be really cool. I'm hoping it's not just like 4, where it's like new video for start mission and new video for ending, and then the rest is all the same. But from the cutscenes, like we saw with Nero in the garage and a couple other ones, it looked different. So I'm excited for Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition. I'll definitely be getting it. Maybe not day one. Probably not day one, to be honest. I'll definitely be showing that on the channel when I do get it. It may be a little while though, but you know, I'll definitely show it. Same with Resident Evil 8. I'm definitely 100% getting that. I don't know when I'll get it. I may get it day one. I may not. I don't know. It depends on what happens at the time of when it comes out. But regardless, it will be on the channel, whether it be the day it comes out, or if it's a little bit later, stuff like that. But Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition and Resident Evil 8 will definitely be on the channel, for sure. I'm not too sure what else to say. I really don't want to drag this video out longer than it really has to be. You know what I mean? So if you enjoyed this video, definitely feel free to leave a like and a comment, subscribe, all that fun kind of stuff. Maybe we can try and get a discussion about Resident Evil 8 and some stuff. Maybe some talk about Devil May Cry 5 as well. All that fun kind of stuff. And hopefully after this, you'll grab your drinks, you'll grab your snacks, and you will go play some Resident Evil or Devil May Cry. But until then, I will see you guys in the next video.